So today I'm taking all these tomatoes and I'm actually clearing out this bed. And what I'm doing is putting them into these used toilet rolls. These toilet rolls will go into the ground, they'll decompose, the worms will eat them. And as you can see, I'm pretty much burying the entire tomato plant up to the top, because what's going to happen is the entire trunk is going to, basically when it touches dirt, it's going to root itself, so you can have a bigger root base. And when I plant it, I'm going to do the same thing. So this is my nearly completed bed. I'll show you this. Now understand, this bed cost all of $9 to build, I think. Obviously doesn't count time or labor, but it's a product of joy. But you'll notice here that this is has holes in it for bees. So this now becomes a beehive all around. The bees will eventually find it. The solitary bees as they come out in the spring. And as the flowers come out here, their home will be right next to it. As you can see too, something else I've done here is I'm starting to lay rocks around the edge. Rocks for a couple of different things, and also rocks in the middle. Rocks will basically create condensation under the rocks. They provide a place for the worms to come up and relax and make babies. And ultimately it provides a spot for lizards to run around and warm up in the morning and stay warm during the night. So now this is basically a worm, creating a better habitat for the worms and the lizards and everything else. And what should happen is I also have fruit trees. Like this here is actually the end of a persimmon tree coming up. So it may or may not root. Yeah, probably 10% chance, 50% chance. But if it does, I'll have a persimmon tree growing out. And as it grows, I'll weed it around. So the goal is to turn this bed into a living bed, a living raised bed. Some of this stuff is upside down. And even though this may die, some of it may shoot out because I've got it inverted. I've got actually the buds of this is actually the bottom. The top is in the ground. Same with these other ones. So they may actually root. This is the end of a big tree too. So the rest of it's actually going into dirt. So there's a chance that this stuff is going to root. You can see stuff going around already on the base, the plants. Other things, actually, other things coming up in here. You see other things coming up. I've seeded all around in here with beans and other things, just pushed it in there. So in a month or so, this should be completely different. Kind of interesting to see how it transforms itself. Another cool aspect of this bed, it's a self-heating bed. There's tons of organic matter buried under here. It's going to slow burn for the next 40 years. Like a fire, but it's an organic burn. And how do I feed this fire? It's really simple. Now here's my feeder. This is a tube. This tube I can put my watered down urine in, which is high in nitrates and stuff, and it's going to feed the anaerobic bacteria. And this tube goes back and forth under this bed. So basically it's a way to fuel the decomposition by putting nitrogen right into there. To fire up all the biotics in it, which will create heat, which will create a microclimate, which should allow me to grow other kinds of things. Now this is really easy. Where did all this wood come from? Well, it came from the neighbors, the trees, tree limbs, right? It's in here really good. Nothing, it's not, it's in there. And again, if you look on every one of those, I've drilled holes. So I've created basically tons of habitat and I've left, for the bees. And basically I've left a lot of space because once I see the kind of bees that are the solitary bees that are going to come use it, I'm going to try to entice the carpenter bees that are currently living in the wood there to actually come down here and start living in the bed here. And I'm going to keep adding more and more bee habitats full of solitary bees, and adding the kind of flowers and other stuff they need. Here is an update on my worm farm. And you can see here I did have stones on it. And I actually have all of this. This is basically all black beans coming up. And this is just going to be full of black beans coming up and pouring over it. The black beans we put nitrogen into this worm farm. And then all the organic matter will go back into it. As the worms develop and they lose space, they're going to basically find their way out. And they're going to fall into this next bed. And as you see, all the cuttings and the green and everything else. And this is another compost worm farm that I have. And the next stage of the process is they're going to go into the herb garden. So this is our salad garden right here. Call it our salad garden. So all this is a salad garden. And right now what I'm doing is digging a trench system, which is basically part of what's known as a swale. The swale is going to go all the way around, like a big circle. I'm going to crisscross it, right? And right now I'm putting all the dirt on the side here and up there wherever I can. I just piled all the dirt up around it. Probably move all that away. There's going to be tons of dirt. Then I'm going to put all these organics, like this here, like that over there. All that stuff is going to go. When I cut the yard, all the grass is going to go into the ground. And all is going to go in here. Plus the kitchen waste and everything else is going to go in here and it's going to be buried. And what that's going to do is it's going to create this amazing feast for worms. So as these worms migrate out, they're going to have a super highway to move around. As we get lots of rain, like that rain from there, hopefully we'll get some. We'll have some tubing that's going to feed into this highway. I may even put some plastic around as a base to trap the water. I'm still thinking about it, whether I want to do that or not. I really don't like to bury plastic, but I'm dealing with desert conditions. So I want to hold the water. I mean, we're dealing with low watering conditions. So if any way I can hold the water and trap the water, I will. So once I dig it all out, I'm going to make the call on that. Hi, my name is Michael Trout. I'm a Foundups permaculture. I do Foundups permaculture. It's a little different than the regular permaculture. Permaculture I practice is kind of a mesh between natural farming, hugelculture, and permaculture. And it also basically works on the principle that we can only design with what we have, and we really can't do a full design because every part of the design is going to impact the next design. So instead of figuring out, I have ideas, like I'm going to have berries going along here, I'm going to have fruit trees 1 meter in, starting over on this side. I mean, I have some ideas, but I'm not what's the word? I'm not basically locked into it. The moment I make a diagram and say this is how it's going to be, this is permaculture, right? A couple things happen. One is I become overwhelmed because I say, oh my God, I got all this work to do. I'm one guy, right? So Foundups permaculture is more like one person trying to get into permaculture, focus on specific sprints. So this would be a sprint, getting this first bed up. That would have been a sprint, getting my little bed there up. Here's another little sprint, so this would have been a little sprint, getting this done, little sprint, getting this done, bigger sprint, getting this done, right? Getting that done. These are all little sprints. I know this is the location closest to the kitchen. This is where I want to grow most of my food. So I'm not worried about where I'm going to stick the chickens. I'm not worried about all that stuff right now. I know that I have to make this right. I also know that the soil is really sandy. There's no, look at this. How do I make this soil nice and black? This soil over here, this soil here. Now, reason why this soil is so amazing. Look at this soil here. This is the reason why this is so amazing. It's because of the trees. Every year, all the leaves drop down in here, and it's been put biomatter. And you can actually see, I've got literally, 2-3 inches, and this has probably only been done in the last 10 years, 5 years, whatever. Just leaves, all these nuts, these are the nut-bearing trees. So it's just food. Here's one of the nut things. Right? It breaks down, worms eat it, stuff eat it. The shell breaks down, makes this nice. So what I'm doing here is I'm speeding up nature. I'm putting in lots of biotics into the ground, and by doing that, creating an environment for worms. interested in this, I'm in Silicon Valley, and you want to learn about permaculture, then I invite you. It's no cost. I don't charge for permaculture as other practitioners do. I think everyone should learn permaculture, and we don't offer certification in permaculture, but we offer certification in Foundups sustainable living. Our sustainable living course is over a month long. It's going to be launching this fall. But if you're interested in coming out, helping and learning from me and helping me set up this permaculture homestead right here in the heart of Silicon Valley, you can do that. Go to foundups.com, click on house, click Silicon Valley. You can always call me, you can always Skype me, Foundup, and I look forward to hearing from you. Good luck with your projects, and the only way we're going to save our planet is for us to do it ourselves by launching something called Foundups. Foundups permaculture is just one